What's up guys, my name is Chris and this is another video tutorial by HomeZone5, and today what we're going to be learning to do is run PS1 games on our PlayStation Portable running custom firmware. Now if your PSP isn't on custom firmware, then hit up the link in the description below, which will be this one here. That would take you to my video showing you how to install 6.XX Pro C2 custom firmware. The XX means basically any firmware that is on 6.00 or above. For today, as you can see with my PSP down here, I am using 6.60 Pro C2. I do apologize as well about this kind of fisheye look on the lens. My Canon 60D has run flat, so I'm using my Sony Action Cam for now. Still looks good, but you know, it doesn't get the PSP looking as basically the way that I want it to. But talking about the actual tutorial now, once you've got yourself a custom firmware PSP, the main part of all of this, you need to get two other things. Now, one of them is the actual popsloader.prx. You can download that as well in the description below. There'll be a link there sending you to the popsloader version 3. And the other thing you're going to need is a PS1 game, not PSP game. You need a PS1 game that you want to play. I myself made this Digimon World 3 file. You can download them. That is illegal. That is piracy at its best, or at its worst, but there is also a way to make these yourself. I'll make a video on how to convert a PS1 ISO into a PSP compatible game in just, I guess, in the coming weeks. Once you've gotten your PS1 game, though, and your popsloader files, you need to actually put your PSP into USB connections. So we'll go to that. And you'll also need, a WinRAR or 7-zip program to actually extract the downloaded files that we've got. But once this opens up, we'll have our PSP just on the right-hand side here. Okay, so you're going to want to open up your popsloader files, because inside here is the actual plugin that we're going to want to get, which is right there. But before we do that, the main file or folder that we're going to work in is SE Plugins, and we're going to open up our Pops text document. If you don't already have Pops in your SE Plugins area, then all you need to do, if you don't have it, is right-click and go to New, and then Text Document, and then you can name that Pops in capital letters like that. It'll be blank when you open it. Obviously, there'll be nothing like this in here. You don't need to worry about that anyway. And what you're going to need to do is copy and paste this text line in the description. Now, if you've got a PSP 1, 2, or 3000, or a PSP Street, which is the E1000, then you're going to need to copy this line, which is MS0, and then so on and so forth. If you've got a PSP GO, it's exactly the same, except it starts with EF. It's got the internal storage, basically. This one's using MS for the root of the memory stick. So we'll copy that, and we'll go over to here, and we'll paste that. Now, the reason there is a 1 on the end is mainly because this PRX will be activated as soon as we reset our VSH. A 0 means that a plugin is deactivated, so it's not going to be active when we reset our VSH or our device. We've gotten that into our text document now. We can Control S or save that. So the Pops is all done. The next thing we're going to need to do is copy that particular folder that we've got in our zip file, the one we downloaded, and click and drag that onto our PSP. Now this is the popsloader plugin. The reason that this is so big, the 83 meg download, is because it has all of the different Pops that are basically installed, all the different Pops, that are running for different versions of the PSP, so different ones that are compatible. For example, Digimon World 3 only works on 3.71 Pops, so I will show you how to set that up in just a moment. Also in the description is a website that gives you a full compatibility list of everything that you need to know about your particular game running on... My camera's just disconnected, so it's a little bit funny at the moment. Anything you need to know about what version of Pops your PS1 game needs to be running on. And I'll open that up just here, actually, while that's copying. And it's actually this website here. So this is the example, Digimon World 3. And mine is running on 3.71, so I'll show you how to get to that. But I don't know, for example, say you had Dragon Ball GT. That will work with 3.51 and 3.71 Pops. Well, we'll go back to Digimon World, and I will show you exactly what you need to do to get that all set up. But popsloader is copied over. Next thing you need to do is go back to your memory stick and go into PSP and game and actually copy over the game that you want in there. Now, I've got Digimon World 3. That is already copied over there. I've got it there already, mainly because it's a timely process to actually copy it. It's 434 megs, so it's kind of big. But once your game is in your that particular folder, PSP and game, and it's copied across, we can close that and we can quit out and go to our actual PSP and set that all up. So if we quit out, our popsloader has been copied over, and we're not going to run the game just yet, but you can see that it's actually on here. Now to reset your, there you go, Digimon World 3. Now to reset your device and turn it on, basically switch it off and back on again, you need to press select and then go down to reset device. So this will basically reboot your PSP. so that it is back in. It's just like a fresh reboot, so it recognizes that the plugin has been activated properly. So that'll boot back up. And then, once that's all done, now I've done this video a couple of times before, and it was actually a problem I've encountered. The first time you try and run your PS1 game, it's happened to me twice now. When you go to run it, it doesn't actually boot, but I'll show you how to get into that main pops menu as well. So this is the main screen. Good time to hold down the right trigger, and then you'll see the pops menu come up once it fades away. There you go. So you got the pops menu here, popsloader version 3. Now I need to pick 3.71 pops, but as soon as I press X, my PS1 game is probably going to stop loading. That only seems to happen the first time the popsloader has been installed, but if this does crash, then I can basically just reset my PSP and start things over again. And yeah, I don't know if you can see that in the fisheye lens now, but it's actually stopped loading. So all I need to do is go home, quit game, and yes, and then the next time I try to run this, the popsloader will actually work. So the first time, it probably won't work. Don't stress. Reset it, pick your popsloader version again, and then try it out. So we'll go back to our memory stick and pick the game that we want. So Digimon World 3 again. And then after that alert menu comes up with a little the main screen here. Hold down that right trigger again. Sorry, this takes a little while to load up. It'll fade away. And then we'll go to 3.71 pops again. Here we go. And if all is going well, this should actually load up properly this time. And yeah, it's something that does seem to happen every single time you fresh install the popsloader. But you can see there that the game is actually booted up. So whilst this is loading up in the background, I guess I will do my usual sign out, and hopefully this has been an easy tutorial to follow. It's basically copying a plugin over to your SE plugins folder and copying a game into your PSP game folder. Very, very simple to do, but a lot of people haven't been able to find the right files in the right, I guess, all in the one spot, so that's something that I've decided to do just to get it all set up nice and properly for you. But anyway, you can see the main menu loading up there. I'll just go and show you the game in action, I guess. It does take a little while to load. We'll press start and continue and just show you. Obviously, the buttons do work. Oops, we don't want memory card 2 because there's nothing on there. And there is no memory card 2. Slot 1. But you can see that's actually working. So hopefully you guys enjoy your Pops or your PS1 games running on your PSP. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them on the video here or also on the Dash Hacks article that I'm probably going to write, or I will be writing for this. But anyway, as per usual, this has been another tutorial by Homes05. Comment, rate, subscribe, do all the cool stuff, and feel free to check out my Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus in the description below. This has been another tutorial by Homes05. Bye-bye!